So let's talk seasonal color analysis. As a hairstylist, I have seen firsthand how this concept can be both helpful and equally frustrating. So in this video, I'm going to share my personal perspective on color analysis, the variables that you need to consider, as well as what you can do easily from home to find the colors that suit you. Now, this concept actually originated in the 40s and 50s, but it didn't gain a lot of popularity until the 80s. And this is the concept of determining what color palettes are going to suit your skin, eye color, and hair. Initially, people were grouped into one of four seasons. Spring is light and warm, summer is light and cool, autumn is a little darker and warm, and winter is a little darker and cool. Now, over time, this concept got divided up, and there are up to 12 and in some cases 16 different seasons that people are getting categorized in. Now, over the years, this concept comes and goes, but more recently, it's really gained popularity again, especially with things like social media and TikTok. When I attempted to find my season, I spent an incredible amount of time researching and taking different tests, only to wind up very confused in the end. And as a hairstylist, I have a pretty good idea of how color theory works and what colors suit me and what colors don't. Every website I'd visit had conflicting information, and I was being grouped into different seasons completely. It quickly became clear to me that there is no solid consensus out there for how this color analysis actually works. I've heard of people getting their color analysis done professionally 4 separate times and getting 4 separate results. So it's obviously understandable as to why this concept can be so confusing and frustrating for a lot of people. One thing that drives me absolutely bonkers about the color analysis before and afters that you see online is that the before is just a bad picture. They're in bad lighting, they don't have any makeup on, and their hair is in a messy bun. And then the after picture is just a generally better picture. It's in good lighting, they're dressed cute, they have their makeup done, and their hair is done as well. It wasn't that the first picture they had their color palettes completely wrong, it was just generally a bad picture. This is honestly very subjective and up for debate. A lot of people think that this is a complete scam and other people swear by it. And so my opinion is, while there are colors that are definitely gonna suit your skin better than others, grouping people into these categories doesn't always work as well as expected. It shouldn't be this complicated and difficult to figure out what colors you look good in. Now, if you have discovered what your season is and this works for you, and I am so happy for you, and I encourage you to continue going with that. But if this concept is really just confusing you and you can't figure out where you fit, keep listening because I'm gonna break down a lot of different variables here. And the first one is lighting. Now, when it comes to hair color, the lighting of the room that you're in makes a huge difference in the color that your hair is going to look. The shade of the light against your hair is going to reflect different tones. Some colors will look better on you in warm lighting, and other colors will look better on you in cool lighting. Can you see the discrepancy here? It's not that one color necessarily looks bad on you, but there are a lot of different factors that can change how the color does look against your skin. All right, so next I want to talk about how your season may change based on this season. For me personally, I have a pretty neutral toned skin. In the summertime when I have a tan, my skin definitely reflects warmer tones. But in the wintertime when I don't have a tan, my skin often appears a little bit cooler. This means I would fit into different seasons in different seasons. As a stylist, I've known this for years. There are times that people will ask for a specific hair color, and I'll actually recommend to them that if they maintain a little bit of a tan, whether they're going tanning or using a self-tanner, is going to help the color not to wash them out. Now, this doesn't mean that they can't wear the color. It just means that it may be a better color for summertime than it is for wintertime. All right, so next is how you do your makeup. There are times where I've had a client get a drastic transformation going from one color to an extreme another color. And I always inform them that they're likely going to want to change how they're doing their makeup, whether it be the amount of contrast they're doing or even just the shades. Now, this doesn't mean that one of those hair colors necessarily suits them better than the other one. It just means that they might need to make some other minor adjustments in order for all the look to balance out. All right, so this next one's a pretty big one, and this is your personality. Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed from watching any of my previous videos, but I personally don't wear colors very often at all. Now, it doesn't really matter what the color is. I don't feel as comfortable and confident when I'm wearing colors as I do when I wear black. Other people, no matter if it flatters their skin, they may not ever want to wear black, and that's totally okay. This doesn't necessarily have to do with what season you're in. This has to do with what your preferences are and what you feel comfortable in. And Honestly, this is very subjective. I remember this one time, it was around Thanksgiving, and I put on this sweater that was a gold colored sweater. And when I put it on in the morning, I literally thought to myself, this color looks terrible on me and I am donating this sweater tomorrow. Later on that day, I saw my mom and she immediately said, that color looks so good on you. I just love that sweater on you. You look so great today. And I thought to myself, like, this is crazy because I thought I looked terrible today and I do not feel good in this color. All right, now let's talk about how our hair color will affect what colors that we can wear in our wardrobe. Now, the color that your hair is, and I'm not just talking naturally here, I'm talking the color that you are wearing your hair currently, is going to affect what color clothes are gonna look good on you. I would honestly recommend that anytime you change your hair color, you would want to perform another color analysis to find what colors are going to suit you based on your new hair color. Another thing that's important when referring to hair color is that just because a color wouldn't necessarily look good all over your whole head doesn't mean that it wouldn't look good as a balayage or even just with some peekaboos. Now, in the past, I made a video where I'm helping you determine what colors are going to be ideal with your skin tone and which ones would be less flattering. And if you're interested in that, you can find that above. All right, so now for what I personally recommend you to do if you're struggling to figure out what season you are or what colors you're going to look best in. Now, I recommend performing your own analysis with a friend that knows you and your personality. This is going to help you find colors that speak to you and who you are, not just what some concept says colors that you should wear. Finding pictures of people with a style and a vibe that you like that also have a similar skin tone and eye color as you. This is going to help you for knowing what kind of hair colors to try, whether you're doing a whole head of color or just some highlights, as well as what colors you should wear that you're going to feel the most confident in. All right, so to wrap this up, color analysis shouldn't be a strict rule book that you absolutely have to follow, nor should it be a guessing game determining what colors you feel good in. There are so many variables that are all going to affect how a color looks on you. And while this can be helpful if you're just totally lost and don't even know what style you want to go for, this shouldn't be something that you have to live your life by. Your best approach is to experiment and trust your instincts in what feels good to you. All right, guys, let me know in the comments below if you've ever had a color analysis done, as well as what you thought of it. And make sure you subscribe if you want to make every day a good hair day.